Right, let's get a screen shared. Mm, good stuff.
There are
Oh,
an estimated
excuse me.
£32 billion to be repaid as
Here we
part of the
go.
missold
Ollie,
corporate finance
YouTube
scandal.
kicking off again. Shut up. Right, good stuff.
There are an estimated
Excuse me. Right, let's go. Um, where am I? Right. Yeah, I'll just type in. Yeah, good morning, everyone. Right, we talked yesterday um quite a bit really about what's things that are going, what's hot, what's not on YouTube, and we talked about all the let's put it gurus on YouTube, all talking about the opening the orb strategy, which is the open balance, open range breakout, and that it was just a copy of something that's very, very old and very similar to the IB breakout, which is initial balance breakout. And I did say I'd cover it today. Well, what I've done actually today is I've written a strategy for the orb, which is over 50 years old, an initial balance, which is probably about 30 years old. And I'm going to tell you about the difference. And more importantly, I've wrote a robot and I'm going to demonstrate the orb strategy is nowhere near as good as everyone's telling you on YouTube, and I'll demonstrate that live today. But we'll do that closer to 9 o'clock, and I'll show you the actual back tests. I've written the robots, and we can back test it all and show you exactly, don't know why it's doing the rounds again after 50 odd years, but here we go. It's the latest thing for sucking people into watching YouTube videos. Right, okay, let's get going. FTSE today, ATR has gone up from 8 to 11. DAX is 47 from 41, and the S&P down lowly, excuse me, at 5. But the biggest news, of course, is the EU agreeing to a 15% tariff deal, and euro fell 1.6% on the back of all that. I think France is calling it a dark day for the EU. I think looks like Trump has come in, raped and pillaged the euro. Not only, as he said, it's quite interesting. Um, Euro, get yourself sorted out. You need to, NATO, you need to start doing your parts, spending more money on defences. He's only gone and said you got part of the deal, which was 15%. You've now got to buy your military defences from us as well. Quite a nice little move. Oh yeah, and by the way, you need to spend hundreds of billions on energy as well. So Euro got a kick in the short and curlies on that one. Quite interesting. The UK has got a 10% deal, as you know, and on aerospace, 0% deal. That's probably because of BAE Systems bought part of some big American businesses a few years ago, and the BAE group connect quite strongly, the MOD and the DOD, with McDonnell Douglas, Boeing, and of course Lockheed Martin, the big cartel in defence. So zero for the UK on aerospace, but we've still got 25% on steel and aluminium. Um, that's got to resolve itself, and we've got D-Day on the 1st of August, of course. Gold, with the rah-rah risk on, gold's gone to a really deep low, 3-week low, low since the 9th of July, in fact. But I did put in the Slack room today, guys. I've done a cheeky cheeky long on a futures contract on, oh, where's my, oh, why isn't this scrolling? Excuse me. What have I done with Slack? Why is it my, oh, here we are. It's woken up again. Good if I got the right room, wouldn't it? I could have sworn I put some out on gold today. Just bear with me a minute. Just wing this across here.
Yeah, you did see that some community ideas, community trade ideas is in there.
Oh, flipping heck. Stuck it in the wrong place. Sorry, guys. Yeah, I'll very quickly stick it in the right room as well. I'll put it in the right room would be a better way of saying it. Community trade ideas. Oh, that's the community one. Trade ideas outside live. Where are we? For all the guys, I'll tell you what, I'll do that later. I guess the people that they'll have got that anyway, I guess. Right. Okay, so we've got the initial balance strategy, we've got the orb strategy, which is doing its rounds. Guys, do not get sucked into the YouTube phenomena of the new latest orb. It's not new, it's over 50 years old, and if it was that good, it would be on YouTube all the time. It's just the latest wave, and I'll demonstrate that to you live at 9 o'clock with my algorithms that demonstrate both strategies and how they actually work. In fact, if you are interested in the strategies, if you put some comments, yes, please, whatever, into the YouTube, I will give you the strategies, the orb strategy and the initial balance strategy, how they were developed first time round, how to enter the market, how to exit the market, how to truly stop, how to take your profit, and I'll demonstrate how profitable they are. There are tweaks on these. And if anyone in the room is interested, because it's got my go at this, the orb strategy being the latest, make a million in 2 minutes. Do not get sucked into this rubbish because it is rubbish. I'll do another session on Friday in the room. I know we've got a session on ready for the end of the month on when is it? On the 30th, is it? On the 30th. But if you're interested on the 1st on Friday, I'm quite happy to do a session in the room, go through the orb strategy, go through the IB for people in my room if you want the detail on that. So yeah, if people are interested in the real orb and the real initial balance, quite happy to show you. Right, stop waffling now. Big trade yesterday. What we're going to do is going to flipping heck. So the boom, boom, boom. Right, the gap was closed yesterday. Did everyone hang on in the room? The extreme gap was smashed yesterday. We did say the extreme gap would get broken if 0.92 was broken, and it did. And we did a really nice. I'll get rid of that. That was a trade last. That was a pickup yesterday. Right. We need this closed. We need this closed. ATR today, as I said, was 11 pips. We nearly come down to there. We really do need this market to be a little bit away. 11, it's so close. We need the market to be about 11 pips away from the close to get an ATR, a nice ATR move. It's so close for the guys that are experienced in the room. You've probably already got in on a 1 minute, but it's quite a toughie, really. If we can get them in the first couple of minutes, if this market can come up and give us an 11 pip stop, 11 pip target to actually close that, then but I'd be interested in that. Otherwise, it's too close to call. The gap will get closed. It's just a bit of a pain in the backside. There's a 926 close here. That's at 1 minute. Let's go on to 5 minutes. No, the 926 ID. for closing the gap. The early bird has not triggered either. So we made up 1.6 if you'd left your trade on. Some people just took 1% yesterday morning. The actual trade was 1.62, which hit very nicely indeed. And then the 9092, I think, where's my, where's the daily edge? Where have I put the daily edge? Right, let me open the daily edge. Right, yeah. So for people watching, this is a document we use every single day. It takes me about 2 hours in the morning to generate it, to identify the best trades for the day every day. Right, okay. So, and again, the links are below if you want to get this. It's on my website, and it gives you in your inbox every single morning at around about 7:30 what's gone on the market, all the summary highlights with all the interlinks, what's happening to economically, further reading on big headline stuff, and high probability trades. So I did say, yeah, a breaking of 9092 would close these gaps that I've just showed you. So that some pretty big monster trades yesterday. If you traded it, you would have made well over 2%. Today, well, I want the gap closed, and then we want to buy the dips around the gap. And we want to do a one-to-one risk reward, or we want to head for 9140, and then a higher in the coming sessions. We've got S&P 500 as well, where to get in, where to get out. US dollar, USD Japani, or US dollar, dollar yen, I should say. I always call it USD Japani. And then we've got Euro, with all the devastating news on the Euro, the deal. The Euro's gone through the floor. And cables, not much better either. You got to watch out a lot. You got to watch out big style, because these two are higher probability trades, but they're highly correlated for the simple reason they are both part of the Dixie, the dollar index. So if the Dixie is really, really strong, both of these will react negatively to that. And I'll show you a little bit later how that works. But yeah, it's been going since April, and the information on here has not lost since April every single day. So I forgot what it is now. I think we always say it's the price of a cup of coffee a week. So what's that? About £10 per month. And it gives you 3 or 4 plus high probability trades every day of where to get in, where to get out, and why, more importantly, gives you some technical insights, fundamentals, economics, political, why the market's doing what it is doing and how you should be reading it. So, yeah. So that was a long way of saying 9092 was broken. Right, this should come down. I'm just trying to think of ways that we can actually get in here on a one-to-one. We're so close, but we have rules. We have rules. What's the stop in here? We've got a 11 pip stop with it. No, we still can't get it. I would prefer to just watch it close rather than take the risk of a unbalanced one-to-one risk reward. Just turn the ding dong bell off. I know no one can hear it apart from me. People going bing bong in and out the room. All right. So morning, morning everyone on YouTube. Hi guys, Stuart in the Wild Trades. Good morning. Hi Greg. Right. Okay. Let's get moving. Just going to give this a minute or two before we move on to the FX trades, because it's quite indecisive at the moment. On balance volume is up on a 5-minute. We've got the Renko blocks all going green, all pointing skyward. Will this leave a closing gap? You see the market, what did the market drop this morning? What, about 1.28 over from the highs. It's a massive drop. Yeah, 1.28 drop. 117 pips. Now, the average true range for the market, 70. It's done well over a 5-day ATR move. Huge move overnight. So we do expect a retrace of that move. I would expect at least a 50% retrace of that overall drop. Just put, that's not a fibbo, of course, but interesting just to put that in. 50% retrace, so 61% here and 78% just up here. What I'm wanting to try and do is, the FTSE, well, a lot of the indices these days are traded using fibos. So the ideal scenario here would be to identify where you think what we want this to go high here and a Fibonacci all the way down here into the close, buy the close, and see where this might take us. It's on this impulsive wave, you're kind of looking at 91.23 and above. Oh, yeah, where's Jeanette? Right, okay. Right. Let's what can we do? It is just outside of our range. It's just in touching distance, really. But let's zoom right out. You can see we've got the market quite got a loose M for murder here pattern. But the market is pretty bullish. We're on our front foot with regard to and against the EU with a 10% base tariff rather than a 15% base tariff and zero on aerospace. So FTSE should, it's just come off with all the global markets. We should get a decent recovery, but this area is obviously going to be an area of interest to buy down in here. If we can, that would be for me, the perfect storm. Well, the perfect storm would be buying into the lows of the day again, right on the 200 EMA. That would be the perfect storm. Whether we can get that or not, we'll have to wait and see. Can't predict anything. The market, no matter what you say, the market is always right. Come on, do something. This looks a bit bigger, doesn't it? Right. So we want to buy this market. I just point out, while we're waiting for this market came down yesterday. Closing gap was struck at 921 here. So the market came down on 11:30. We traded the gap down yesterday. Closed the gap, very nice indeed. And then we had an extreme gap and closing gap if 9092 was broken, and indeed it was, and both those targets were hit also. You can see the market put in a 15-minute bar signal right on the close, so it's just too late, and the market wouldn't have hit anyway. Would have been a wee bit profitable, but there we go. It's too late in the day to actually trade. But once you've done 1.6 plus 2 more trades there, which you could have made over 1% on both of them, Well, no, that's a lie. They're too close together. You probably could have made about 1.2 between them, something like that, if you'd bothered to do that. But the whole focus, so we're talking about is getting that 1% a day. If we can get 1% a day or average 2% a week, so it's easy saying that you want your 1% a day, but you win trades, you lose trades throughout the day. On balance, you want to see if we can come out with 1% a day, ideally 2% a week, which is 161% compounded per year. And if you do that, you'll do better than all the gurus, I would think, on YouTube. Right. We're not moving, are we? On balance, we are. We have got a bit of momentum. Balance indicator. I'll just let people know that the OBV9 is something that I've written myself. It works on Pro Real Time and TradingView, and it gives you a forward indication of what's going on based on a baseline here. So on balance, if market's being bought, obviously you're looking for a long. On balance, if the market is going short, then you want to join the crowd going short. It's an advanced volume, really. Come on, let's get something done. Right. Let's see what we can do. Let's see if we can get any of these YouTubers to sit on the room more than 5 minutes. That would be good. Sorry, it doesn't help me streaming on YouTube, does it? Does it actually talking about YouTubers that like to graze for a minute or two rather than understand what's going on. Right. Let's see what we can yeah. A bit harsh. Yeah, sorry. T. Oh, that'd be Terry, isn't it? Hi, Terry. Sorry, it's a bit harsh, but you probably know yourself. Yeah, people graze around YouTube looking for something that might be credible, might make you money, and you can follow. The problem is it's full of trash. God, I'm speaking American now, aren't I? It's full of rubbish. And it's hard to get some good, consistent advice that you can actually follow. And yeah, but there we go. So what we'll do is, I think was it you, Simon, that were brought up, or was it Brian? I'm not sure. Or Rory, I'm not sure, brought up the have you seen the latest orb strategy?
Yeah, that was me that sent you down that wormhole.
Oh yeah, wound me up somewhat crazy when all the gurus saying they've got the brilliant orb of this. The orb strategy was developed before most of those people were born. And I will go over it at 9 o'clock because we want to get the first 30 minutes to an hour out the way so we can demonstrate how the orb strategy works, or it's the opening range breakout rather than the initial balance breakout. There are kind of two different things, and some are used by retail traders. The orb, the initial balance are used by usually institutional or professional traders, and yeah, one's absolute dumb, which that's the best trade to do if it works. And the other ones kind of need moderate understanding to a high degree understanding on how to do the initial balance. So institutionals use initial balance and professional traders, if you were to box things, and the orb is the other one. So they kind of what was it? We'll talk about it later. I'll start getting into it, 'cause I actually spent a couple of hours yesterday coding the robots to demonstrate to you how they actually work. And you can make any robot do anything you want, really, to a degree. But I'm going to take the strategy, the strategy that made the up, the strategy that made the initial balance, and demonstrate how good it is. Do not believe all the videos you see that people are making a fortune out of it, because you'll empty your bank. And I'll show you why, and I'll show you how to tweak it so you can make some money. But we'll do that one on Friday. Otherwise, I'll be on here all for a few hours. It just it just winds me up. We're here to help people. We're all traders in the room here that we're streaming, and I'm here to help people make money, not try and sell flipping subscriptions and get loads of likes and shares and God knows what else. We're here to help people be successful at trading. And yeah, right. And as you can see, trading can be very boring. It's very, very slow. The market makers, what we've got here, for people who maybe not seen this before, all these little lines you can see on here are pivots. Now, if you're trading indices and you don't know where the pivots in the market are, you're flying blind, and it's absolutely mental if you don't understand where all the big levels are. Not support and resistance, pivots. Support and resistances are developed around pivots because the big guys know where the market's going to pivot, where it is pivoted, and they trade to the pivots, which then the result of those trades, buying and selling, culminates in leaving support and resistance. This is a case in point overnight. There's a cash clause. So the FTSE opens at 8 o'clock in the morning, shuts at 4:30, like all the Northern European indices do. And between 8 o'clock and 4:30 is the cash hours. That's where it's actually traded. Outside of that, it's not cash hours. The market is made, and it's correlated to the other indices that there are correlations and ratios. If one index moves, the other index moves, and that's out of hours. So after 4:30, there's no cash trading. The market is made for people to trade, but there's no cash transactions on that actual index. And the markets get pulled up by the American, and then the baton gets handed over to Asia Pacific market, who then pull the market round again. But you can see even overnight, people are obviously very aware of the closing gap from yesterday. And as the markets come down, people are taking profits, and it's bouncing and buy. People are trying to buy and have been buying here. And if you're Asia Pacific, this would be the futures market. So people are buying and buying and trying to buy. Today, we've got a hole in the market. You can see from here. Now, there's a hole in the market, but if we're within 3 pips or so, then all right, we are, yeah. You can consider that as the gap being closed. So while I've been waffling, I hadn't been realizing just how close we'd come down just before the open. I would like to close this gap. I think it should get closed. It should come down further, but the market's always right, even though, no matter what you think and what you'd like to happen, the market is always right. All right, obviously no one's interested in strategies, and we've just lost a whole bunch of right, Greg, is it 15-minute orb? No such thing, Greg. You're watching too much rubbish on your YouTube. We'll talk about the orb at 9 o'clock, and we'll talk about how the orb works. And the orb generally is either on 15-minute, 30-minute, or 60-minute. There is no such thing as a 15-minute orb or a 30-minute orb. Depends how you want to trade the orb, but the orb is based on the first 30 minutes of action. So if it's based on the 30 minutes, the first 30 minutes of action, then maybe you want to use either 15-minute, 5-minute or 15-minute or 30-minute trade setups. And I will run all those with the bot live and show you the differences between all the different setups and the profiles, risk reward profiles for that. And then hopefully it'll demystify what the orb is, and then initial and what to trade the orb on, of course, because they are developed for certain things. So this originated really from the early days when there was a trading pit and everyone was shouting and screaming. Very old trade. So, and then come the initial balance. So, you know, if you look at the markets, it was developed for the orb, which was the S&P, the DAX, and the FTSE. Commodities such as crude and gold, really, and forex majors. So that's the orb. You can use that on that, and on the initial balance, I'm just looking at over here on my notes. Initial balance was originally developed for primary markets with American markets, with the S&P, the Nasdaq, and the DAX. On the IB. So the orb and the IB are very developed for very specific things over very specific time frames to do different jobs. But you'll see on YouTube the orb 15 or the orb 30 or the orb 60 or the wherever it is, it's all the same thing. The difference is obviously in how you enter, because if you're using a 5-minute bar, things are triggered on 5-minute bars or on 30-minute bars or 60-minute bars. They're the nuances and the differences, really. If it was that good, every professional trader would use them every single day, and they don't. Come on, let's get something done here. So what I'm looking for here is either some secondary fractal structures. So there's I've got my annotation pen. There we go. So we're looking at fractal structure, which is a fractal break here. There's a fractal break here. And what we're looking for is the market to either break out of a fractal and so we can get going, or a 15-minute bar, whichever comes first. So I'll just turn the frackers on so you can see them. There's the frackers. And ideally we want to buy from down here. And when we're looking at this, when we've got the first half hour of action, so we do not want to take the first fractal breakout, because what you can see here, all the uncertainty is it's not good. Well, we'll take that higher fractal or a secondary fractal formed after this, and we'll head for at least a 50% retrace level, if not higher. 9,140 would be ideal. Get yourself down here first, though. And we haven't got the headroom to be able to trade that, really. You could trade it into a 1 minute, but you know, as well as a trading room, it's a training room. So I don't want to put people at risk when there's no need to do that, because we will get a trade out of this. Oh yes, while I remember, if anyone is interested in joining the group, learning how to trade or learning my style of trading, it's a better way of doing it, saying being more consistent. Give me a shout. I'll take you around the room in detail on the one-to-one and show you. We have got a summer sale on at the moment, which is 25% off membership. And you can get on board with a chunk of change off as well and start joining a group of consistent traders. Of course, you don't have to. That's just to let you know while I remember. Right, let's put that, keep that alert there. I'm just going to look at this DAX. The DAX actually dropped quite a bit. So there's the closing gap closed from the 23rd. Boom. Closing gap here is down here this morning. I would expect a 50% retrace after this huge drop. How big was that drop? That was a pretty monster drop. That one, 600 pips, 2.6% drop from the highs to the lows. And would expect a 50% should be a given retrace after such a large impulsive move, which takes us straight into Camarilla breakout long. So ideally, I'd buy from the close once we've got the closing gap closed, but the pivot boys might be starting to buy the pivot here. But however, one of the things you need to remember and observe, although the market is positive, it's trading above the price action is trading above the 9 EMA, it's actually negative with regard to the overall trend. So you just got to be careful there. If you're going to go against the overall trend, the 1 hour and 4 hour collectively would be, why won't this come off? There we go. It will be in line with a 4 hour. Yes, it's now in line with the 4 hour here. To be very strong, then you want the 1 hour on your side as well. But we've got some key 4 hour resistance down here. So if I was trading on my own, I would have took a 15-minute bar off the daily lows here. Easily said, that's at night time, so obviously I wouldn't. It's easy cherry picking candles, and you can cherry pick candles till the day's long. It doesn't mean it's going to work. Any reasoning behind the 26 EMA? Yes, lots of reasoning. It's a very high probability strategy that we use called the 926, and they're both EMAs, and they track in certain conditions and jump you onto a trend very well indeed. We use it for doing early bird trading. We use it for trend trading as well, and it works very effectively. So yeah, that's why the 26 is up there.
Steve, does that work best in a particular time frame, the 926? I've been doing it on the 5. I just wondered if it worked in just as well in other time frames.
For day trading, as a day trader, then
Yeah.
5 minutes is the ideal, yeah.
It's 5 minutes, yeah, okay.
Yeah, 5 minutes is ideal. It's like everything. It's quite interesting. I get a lot of comments off YouTube. I've seen your strategy, the 15-minute bar reversal, but I don't do 15. I do 4 hours and daily. So what do I need to do? The answer now, I used to try and explain how that works. I just said, well, use a bloody 15 minutes, a 15-minute strategy. Why do you want to try and develop it into a 4-hour strategy or a daily? There are strategies for 4 hours as well, called the SAR, the stop and reverse. But it's a different strategy using different parameters. That won't get me going on that. But yeah, 926 Jeanette. Right. Don't want to trade the DAX with a hole in the market down here. Not really. Let's go back and look at how the euro is faring. These were dropping off the map this morning. We had Euro Japani, but Euro Japani, do you know what? At some point, people are going to look for some value in the trade we had yesterday. Of course, nothing come off because the euro went to the floor after Trump's 15% tariff deal with the euro. So euro's gone to the floor, and you could put a watching brief on here just for a play, so long as the euro. No, forget it. We'll scratch that. It's not worth it. It's not high prob. So here we are. I wanted to talk about this in a bit of detail. It's like everything. Did anyone take the euro? So I'll do my little speech that I always do. One thing you got to remember for people who are on YouTube. I don't know if this is your first time here or you come every. Why can't it? Why will that colour not change? Oh, it will now. Right, I'll do my lines again. Right, so what happens, and remember this, write it down, stick it on the wall, and all the guys in the room, they'll be sighing when I do this. When the market comes down and then goes into a sideways movement or confluence, 8 times out of 10 or more, the market leaves in the same direction. Higher than 8 out of 10, it's very, very predictable. So when you see the markets doing all this move, then you know which direction the market's going to go, especially when the market is very bearish. Now, if anyone trades the Euro USD, so this is the first target for the day that has been smashed, and then there's some more targets here, and those are all in the daily edge. So they've all been, the first targets have been hit. So what you can do, another little tip, I mentioned in the daily edge that there's a high correlation between cable and the FTSE, not the FTSE, the euro and the pound against the dollar. That's because of constituent parts of the dollar basket. Now, if you put the dollar basket up, let's just put a comparison here and just show you, and put the DX up, the Dixie. What you'll see is a mirror image. So this is, whether you can do this on TradingView or other platforms, I'm not sure. This is pro real time. So what we've got here is a dollar basket. The way the dollar basket is moving, you can see how powerful the dollar basket is after the Trump deals, power to the dollar. The dollar is moving off strongly. So USD Japani as well, the correlation's the same. So you'll see USD Japani flying up, Euro USD coming down, and pound coming down, as pound USD coming down as well. You can see it's nearly a mirror image. If you're uncertain about trading the euro, you need to have a euro USD. Check the dollar basket, because that will be show you the strength against the euro, and it's just coming down. Put cable on as well. You'll see something very, very similar indeed. Not quite, because 57% of the dollar basket is levered off against the euro, a much smaller amount with the pound and the Japanese yen. But you can see here, these are no-brainer trades today, absolute no-brainer trades. So let's go into the euro first, and let's see what happened. Strategies. So here we are. Market came down sideways, confluence, and then come out. So there's your break. There's a break if you did take it. Now, I'm not going to claim I took this because I didn't. I was too busy talking and writing stuff. So there is the trade to the first target and beyond. There is another trade here, and what I did say this morning, I keep losing it. Where's my flipping daily edge gone? Got too many screens up at the moment, guys, and lots of information on the daily edge. Ah, there we are. Where are we? Where are we? Where? Right, okay, yeah. So binary traces or breaks, looking for one-to-ones, looking for, first of all, 11557, and then a break of 11550, and that happened as well. That's going to open up 11500 pretty sharply, and then below to 11445. Put that on that screen, which will be another one further down here. There we are, 11445. So what we're looking for here is, because we've had that break, we're going to use a combination trade, guys. So we're just going to get rid of that. So there was a fractal break on the 15. There was a 15-minute bar. So the fractal breaks, which would have got you down there pretty sharpish, were the break here. Better than the one-to-one into there. So we have another fractal break here. You can see the fractal trading quite nicely. For the guys who mentioned what is the 926 into a trade, oh hey Mickey, can you do the Dixie and dollar yen? Is it the same direction? Yes, it is, Mike. Yeah. We'll go on and do that in a second. Yeah. All right. Yeah. In the white. That's a long name, isn't it? In the wild threads. In the wild threads. You're out in the bush somewhere. Right. Okay. So let's get serious. We are trading everything short at the moment. We're above from 5 minutes all the way to 4 hours. This market is screaming short. It's trading under the 9 EMA, and I will get the video out in the 9 EMA this week to show you how to use the 9 EMA in all sorts of different ways. So this is a fracker. This is a 5-minute fracker. Once a combination trade, the combination trades a 15-minute bar confirmation, followed by 5-minute frackers on the majors. So what we're looking at here is we've got looking at 21 pips. We'll call that spread 3, near enough 1 plus 1. We'll call that 23. Call it 24, but we've got 24 down here. Yes, we'll call that 24 and 24 because we want to do, a direct break, but half the spread of the fractal. So I'll explain that a bit more. So this is the fractal bottom. What we're looking for is the market to do an impulsive move. So when it's impulsive move, we want to nearly a direct break, half a pip, a little bit, just to get that market, make sure it pushes through. But when we're doing the stop, we want to have the stop plus the spread plus 1 pip, and just in case we get a double tap reversal. So what I'm going to do here is we're looking at that at 26 or 25 point. We can call that 25, a full 1. And let's have a look up here, which the high of that is 45, 46, 47, 48. We've got an extra pip, 49. So that's quite loose. It's 1 pip too much at the top side, but that's fine. And a 1 pip front run of the 11.5 Orcus will get trigger fingers trying to take the market out. So there is the first euro. The euro, I'll just write these down so I'll keep the stats on all of these. We're in 11.525, and we're looking at a cheeky 1% minimum. And then we're going to run this. And hopefully, at times at 8:40, the market will get a wiggle on. We can start doing a few more trades and compounding them and looking. Right, we're going to do cable now, and then we'll do Euro Japani for Mick. Sorry, for Michael. Sorry, I keep calling you Mickey Long because it's in my brain all the time of your need for going long on the S&P, which is a really, really good thing to do. But it just sticks in my mind, all the conversations that we've had. So this market has come off big style. we look USD Japan should be screaming along as well, by the way. One thing we've got to watch out for is the core correlations. Now, I mentioned the dollar basket. So if you're going long on the US dollar yen, well, yen's closed, and then you're going on Euro USD and cable USD going short. If something goes bang on the dollar with news from Trump, all those three trades will go in the same direction. You'll lose on the USD Japan and you'll lose on the others. So what you got to be careful of is keep the end in mind, not try and win everything. Is your idea here is to try and get that 1% out of the market. Get 1% a day every day, you can make an absolute fortune. No one can do that, not consistently. We have a good go in the room though. We do it. We hit our targets every week of 2%, but that's yeah. Right. 15-minute bar. Oh, that's a previous trade we did. As you can see, we go in and out 1% most of the time. Get our 1% and run. So again, market came down, consolidated, broke to the downside. There is this morning, so we trade from 5:30, wait for the market to run. There is a 15-minute bar, perfect storm. If you haven't got the 15-minute bar guide, it's totally free. Recorded sessions, I'm just looking at trading strategies, 15-minute bar. If you haven't got a 15-minute, if you're watching this and you do not have a 15-minute bar strategy, you need your head read. It's completely free and the links are below here. This is the 15-minute bar. So it's completely free. What I will say is if you are going to download it, make sure you stay subscribed. Otherwise, you won't get the updates of the documents. They won't be fed through to you. A lot of people are downloading all the free documents, which is great. It's nice to see, but then they don't subscribe, so they'll never get anything new after that because they're not a subscriber to that document. They've just downloaded some. So if you're going to go to the website, make sure you tick the subscribe and you'll get the updates automatically to your email. So this is a 15-minute bar, tells you what it's all about, tells you how to go from 4 hours down into 15 minutes, what the EMAs actually mean, how to look at it, and the pictures of the bars. This is what it looks like, or this is where it should look like. So here we've got the reversal of the 15-minute bar. There, perfect storm. Everything is going the right direction. It doesn't get any better than that to trade. It's impossible for a better setup, high probability setup than that candle using this system. So you haven't got it, download it, it's free. Right, so now we've got the 15-minute bar confirmation break. What we can do, we can go into a 5-minute fracker, and then we're going for our targets. While I've been talking, unfortunately, we've had the breakaway already. What a pain in the ass that is. But it's never too late to get into a good trade. So what we can do, we can make sure, as far as practicable, is that if from where we are now, can we do a 1-to-1 down to the target? That's at 17 pips to the here. Oh, someone's downloaded the 15 minutes straight away. Great. So that we've got 17 pips. There's another fractal break setting up here. So 17 and 17, 17 and 17 on a 1% risk reward basis. And we want that to, ideally, we want that to click in there. That'll give us a 1-to-1. We're not quite there. Will it let us get it going? No,
Order
we are
rejected.
too close. So we can just pile in here now. So that gets us in anyway. The key is being able, making sure our stop's in the right place here, above that fracker here. That's the key. And then we're just going to head down to here now. And that was, I think, or that is, I think, pretty soft landing with the market digesting the news on deals. Let's zoom right out, give it a helicopter view just to see what's what, turn the trade off a minute. Now you can see here there is lots of latitude for this market to come down. You can also see we've broke some key daily levels here. So the market's going to drop right into our 13.3 pretty sharpish. What we can do is also on the daily for the you swing traders, we can do a fibbo on a daily, a fibbo on the 4 hour, and a fibbo on a 1. And just let's see where the extension predictions might go. So we can use one of our fibbo tools and extend it. So we'll go to the impulsive wave 1, down to impulsive wave 2, and we have 100% impulsive wave move down to, copy that, paste that, oops, configure that. We have an impulsive move, 100% impulsive move to 13, can't read that, 13,166, we'll call that, one above, 13,166. Oh, I've done that wrong. 13,166. 13,166. So that is 100% extension. Fibbo extension rather than the overtrace. Right, there we go. So it'd be good if I could spell extension as well, wouldn't it? So we can see there's 78% down here. Next move there would be, that's on a daily basis. You can see here right into this level here. There's some support there, really. As well. That's a 78.6. Won't write too much in. So that's on our daily bigger target. That's going to get mullered, no problem, I think. 4 hour. So quite interesting. How do we read this 4 hour? Because we do have markets only move in 2 directions, regardless of what people tell you. It's impulsive waves, impulsive moves or waves. So impulsive move would be that, or a wave 1 and wave 2, wave 1, wave 2, wave 1, and a reversal there, wave 1, wave 2, another wave 1. That's all markets do. So what can we look here? Having one candle in a sequence is very weak indication on a pullback. I'd like, even if there are, I guess there are 3 candles there that could make a little trip. Pullback 1, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, that would qualify to be able to use an impulsive move, because we've got a low double tap here with a 1, a 2, a 3 before a break. So that's fine. Another little tip using Fibonacci's, when you have got a structure that can be a little bit noisy, if you are going to look for retraces and pullbacks, then you want to get a pullback of 3 candles that are in a different position to the low. Or it's, so what I'm saying is you want at least 3 candles higher than the previous swing low, because the market's then moved at least 3 impulsive times. In other words, it's moved 12 hours sideways and slightly up before coming back down again. And the same is true in the opposite direction. So there are. That gives us a 78.6 on the nose here, which and 100% here. So that could easily be seen 13,281. Get down into the 1 hour. 1, 2, 3, break. So we can use that one as well and see what where this would take us. 78. So the Fibbo boys will be pushing really for this area here, into that area there, which is kind of our target anyway. So we're just using fibs to look at targets that we can go for. Put that back on. Right, so that's what we're going for. Now we're going to USD Japani, which is one of our trades as well. USD Japani. So you'll see USD Japani here, and then we'll put the Dixie on. There, you can see the Dixie. Can I zoom that out a little bit more? You can see here. So this is a US dollar. There's a US dollar there, pulling the market up. So we do have a target. My target I set for the day, it's in the daily edge of 14,902. It's already written in there on where to target, and we know the strategies we're going to use. We've got a few. We've got a 926 if you want to use it. We've got a 15-minute bar. We've got 5-minute frackers. So that's on a 1 hour move. I wanted to see, and I did alert, a 61.8% Fibbo on that last impulsive move to see if we could get a reasonable bit of value. If it's going to be really, really strong, then you will see a move at 38.2. So 38.2 was didn't quite get to 50, and broke 38.2. So kind of Fibbo boys would be there. There's a 38, there's a 50. Have done exactly what we thought they might do. Pin in the backside, be nice if it was pushed down to 61, but that's life. Market's always correct, even though you think it might be wrong. So I did say that we're looking for, and in the room, we know on this Forex, we always do a 15-minute bar on this one. The 415 reversal, it's not the 15-minute guide that you can get for free. It's based on, the 15-minute guide is based on part of the 415 reversal. For a moment I thought I forgot to put it in. So buying the dips, we're looking for a 1-to-1 risk reward. That means 15-minute bars, and we're going to go for a 1-to-1 of 15,902. Ideally, we would have had a reversal, and we would have got a better than a 1-to-1 risk reward out of that. So, is there a 15-minute bar there? Yes, perfect storm bar. Turn the fracker off a minute. So there's a 15-minute bar, perfect storm. Above. So if you were using the guide, you want the 4 hour, the 1 hour, the 15-minute, all aligned, perfect. We need a flat bottomed Icanashi candle on 15 minutes to actually close above the 9 EMA, perfect. We've got the perfect storm there to trade. We've also got a 926 cross. as well, although that's on a 15-minute. So let's have a look at where the 926 cross was, because someone did ask. So the 926 cross was here. So if you're looking for a 926 cross for a trend, it's there. So the 926 cross would be there, which is a break of that candle there, and the swing low would be there. So there's your one-to-one risk reward, which obviously worked. It's difficult while we're training and trading at the same time, explaining what we're doing, what the setup is, how to execute it. You miss lots of trades. So one thing I'm going to start doing in the room is having some of these morning sessions that we do where I don't talk about the strategies. We just go in and hopefully turn the market into an ATM. Just go in there, rip some money out of the market and then get out, and then probably do an analysis of what we actually did, how the trades actually do. Because we've got about 15 different types of trades that we can apply in all market conditions. But in my head, there's a lot more strategies than that. We've been trading over 20 odd years. You can see the market and decide very quickly which strategy, which tool from your toolbox you're going to pull and how you're going to trade it. So we've got a fracker here, 5-minute fracker, which will be fine. Turn that on. Fractal break set to 1. Closing price 1. Now, if this fractal bottom stays in play, what's that red line for? Ah, some tops here. Right, okay, fair dues. If this stays in play, we can do a 5-minute fracker and head for 1-to-1 or 902. Let's just have a little look at where we are with that fracker. So we kind of look at 19.3, round that to 20, spreads 1, 21 plus 22 pips. So we want to get enough headroom to trade 22 pips. This has to hold. If it doesn't hold, it negates the fractal structure and the trade that we want to do. So you can see how it's coming down. This is still okay. It's done a test and nipped the bottom of the fractal. So that's okay. So again, we do with the spread +1. I'm just looking at some of the bots and getting ready some of the bots. Some of the bots are getting ready. So 1 minute to go. So what do we do? Do we go and do the orb and the IB? Because we've got indicators for all those as well. Do we carry on with this trade? Boom, 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 boom. We'll do the because we've only got another 15 minutes or so. What I will do, we'll give people a heads up on what the orb strategy really is and the initial balance strategy as well. So I've wrote some bits on it, and we can go through and use it for real. Right, so initial balance, we've got the first initial balance on orb. It's 9 o'clock. We've had 1 hour's worth of trading, so we can show that. Shall I give this a miss? We can set it and run it, can't we? It won't harm. 22. We'll put some alerts in here, 22 and 22, and we'll give that a break. There. Just round numbers up. There's the break. I'm going to extend that for better than a 1-to-1 into here for the day. I'm going to put an alert in case the fractal is broken completely on the second fractal there. And if that breaks, then we'll take that trade off. If we get clicked in, we want to see what's going to happen with some resistance up here as well. Let's get back to that FTSE now. So the market has broken up to the top side. So what we would like to see after all this chaff going on here, we did say a break on these, the pivots would get us long. So we'll do the initial balance. And so we've got a, wow, 15-minute bar there, guys. 15-minute bar. Can't ignore that one. Let's just have a quick measure of that now. 15-minute bar. That's 20.4. Spreads 1, 21, plus 1, 22. It was 20.4, so we'll round that down to a big round number. 21, 22, 23. So we want 23 pips as a stop. 23 pips as a target. Let's see how that looks first on that breakout here. Nowhere near the target. That will do the job. Not a problem. So we're looking at 23 and 23 for that breakout. Right, now I'm going to turn the fracker off. Go into the 1 minute. I'll show you the initial balance. Let's take these indicators just off for the moment. Hide them. There's our breakout. Turn the trade off. It's still running, but we'll trade it off. And if put the IB indicator on, sure, it's identifying, quite interestingly, the initial balance. And for the first hour, but it also could be the 1 hour orb as well. So show our trade right above that breakout. So this effectively could be an orb trade. So I'm just going to put the where the actual stop would have to be for doing an orb trade, and that would be the target. That would be the
Alert triggered.
And so
Alert
a
triggered.
break. So right, okay. That's interesting.
Alert triggered. Alert triggered.
Right. Right, okay. I'll just get to look at these, where these alerts of hitting. USD Japan is dropping out. So let's open the USD Japan and we will close that order that we've got in because the bottom's been broken out. Let's do that while we're waiting. We don't want things at risk. USD Japan on a 15-minute. Yeah, so we're having a bit of a retrace on here. So we'll very quickly what we'll do, because we want to trade this, we're going to look at that Fibbo, or we're going to put an alert in at a 50% retrace. Let's say that 50% retrace level for us to get interested in this again. On the 5-minute, we've broken the fracker, so we're off. What we can do is put an alert at the top of these, walking the dog, as you know, guys. There we go. Right, let's get back into the let's see. Right, now, what I have put together. So I'm going to write this up correct. So this is the initial, this is the orb strategy and the initial balance. So identifies market direction, either a 15, 30 or 60 minute. It was actually it came from the trading pits, really in commodity markets, trading gold and oil. That's where it's it's from. In the 1970s, it was developed, and recommended opening range is 30 minutes. And the time frame you can trade it on is 5 minutes or 15 minutes on those, all on those assets. And what we'll do, these are the trading rules. When prices close above the opening high range, or the prices close below the range, stop loss is at the midpoint, or the opposite side of the range. But stop loss at midpoint of the opening range. Or you can have it at the bottom of the range, which is a bit lazy, really, but there we go. Taking profits, which is the range size. In other words, your one-to-one risk reward, and profit taking number 2 is the full range itself. And then you trail your stop after hitting TP1. So if you're not going to take profits at TP1 and you want to extend or take half profits, then you can extend. And then a little example here. I'm going to write this up properly, but I just wanted to put a Noddy's guide into what the orb strategy is, opening range breakout. Then there was something developed a little bit further on into the 80s, 5-10 years later, about 5 years after, called the initial balance, which is kind of the thinking man's orb, if you will. And it not only uses just range breakouts, it uses, how can I call it? Principles, really, market structure, auction theory. Don't want to get into that detail too much. The auction theory really kind of says that when a market is trending, it's out of balance, and the prices are auctioned. It's trying to find a acceptable price where the market is quite happy. When the market's quite happy, the market will then go sideways. And then when people take profit, it'll go down. And the auction theory says the market is always pushing to find out what is the true and fair price of any particular asset. And when it's trying to find the price, it trends. When it's happy with the price, it goes sideways and people take money off and then extend as well. So that's based on volumes, auction theory. It's a little bit, it's more relevant to what's actually happening in the market with level 2 trading. So you're looking at volume as well, and that's the initial balance was based on that. And the primary markets were the indices, which were the American, it was on the developed on Wall Street, and it's for high volatility, high volume contracts. So S&P, Nasdaq, DAX, first 60 minutes, but it can be used for the FTSE, and I'll demonstrate that to you in 1 second. I won't go into detail on this. We'll do this on Friday, guys. In the room, if you're interested in the room and coming on to the session on a Friday and you want to learn IB, we do IB trading anyway, or the the YouTube favorite at the moment is the orb, which is 50 odd years old. It's not new in the slightest. So these are really the strategies that we can use. So I think I'm just reading the text, make sure people aren't commenting and I can't see. So initial balance, it was later, and it's really the thinking man's orb, really, and it was introduced and developed by a guy called J. Peter Stiglmaier, of course, American. Both the orb and the initial balance were used quite a lot. Orb traded more frequently, and it's because of its simplicity, ease of execution, and it's really popular with retail traders. Therefore, really popular on YouTube, and people cherry picking trades to show you how good it is. The IB, initial balance, is really for it's a longer term trade. It's looking at 1 hour movements, and trading frequency is kind of moderate, well, once or twice a day, and it's institutional based, and it's you need to think about it a little bit more. But we'll go and have a look at it. So without going into too much more detail, let's take. So if I just put the one minute on, for instance, so and I just hit, so you got we have indicators to show where the initial balance is, but what you're looking for really, all you're doing is drawing the high and the low of the first hour of trading. You know, that's all you're doing, and what you're looking for is a breakout of the first. If you are looking at the orb, then you're looking at the first 30 minutes of trading. So you're looking at the first 30 minutes of trading. So you'd be looking somewhere from down here, and then you're looking at 30 minutes. So 30 minutes is roughly here. So that's the orb trading there. So if you were orb trading, what you'd be doing is looking for that breakout on a 1-to-1 going all the way up here. So what you would be doing here would be looking at a
Alert triggered.
kind of one, so a break of here would be the orb trade, and you'd be going to the middle of this level, and you're going for a 1-to-1
Alert triggered.
risk reward. If you're going to a profit take two,
Alert triggered.
then your profit take two was there. So this was risking 1% for 2.5 there, and this is 1-to-1. Of course, that worked this morning, and that would be the orb trade. I like to do all this on 1 minute because it's very precise and it gives me really good entries. But that's what we do in the room. I'm going to show you what I'm going to do now is to show you what the actual strategy is. So let's hide all this and take the frackers off. Take the frackers off.
Alert triggered.
And I'm going to get rid of these alerts as well because it's getting right on my, let's get rid of all this. There's no alert triggered. Right. So what I'm going to do now is, first of all, where's the strategy here? So strategy here is, we'll do the orb first because it's there, and we'll pull up the, well, let's do the S&P because that's first on the list. Let's do the S&P. No, we'll do the, I'll tell you what, because we've not traded anything on the DAX. We'll do the DAX. So there's a DAX, and we'll set the DAX at 30 minutes. In fact, because people have mentioned 15 minutes, 30 and 60. So we'll set the strategy for that. Right. So we'll start the first one at 15 minutes. So this is the orb strategy, not a tweak, not a my slant on it to make it a wonderful, be a millionaire overnight. This is the orb strategy. So I coded this yesterday after my group wound me up about YouTube. All the YouTubers try to mislead people, potentially. So wrote some code, right? This is a robot that actually has got the high lows for 15-minute time from 5, 15, 30, and potentially 60. It will just trade automatically depending what my default time frame might be, just using one contract. And it's not, what we'll do here is let's run it this year. So we'll run, let's put 20,000 units up. Will that take us to January this year? Yeah, it will. Yeah. So let's put this up to real time now. There we go. So what we're going to do now is we're just going to, this is the orb strategy. This is just my take on doing that trade. Not my take, this is the orb strategy. So, and it's been put into a robot. So what I'll do now is I'll make sure we do a tick by tick test, and we'll do this live. So I'll hit the back test, and now it's running. So there, this is a very fast machine. Your machines might be a little bit slower, I don't know, but this is a very fast machine. This is the DAX orb strategy on 15 minutes. So you can see this is the profile. This would be the return for the year, just using one contract, 151%. So that wouldn't be too bad, that really, would it? And the dashboard, you can see this goes for all bot trading. We do lots of bot trading in the room. Is that you only need to be you don't need to get it right 50% of the time, as long as your risk reward ratio is really, really good. But if you can get it 50% or better, fantastic. I've got a 15-minute bar reversal bot at the moment that I'm about to release. It works 96.2% of the time. Absolute ATM. I keep testing it and testing it and running it and live trading it. It just keeps working. It seems too good to be true, so it probably is, but I've tested it and tested and tested it, and it can't break it. So this is the 15-minute bar reversal, and 96% accuracy in the hit rate, but it's not 96% at 1-to-1 because it has some very complex risk management in it, but nevertheless earns you quite a bit of money. So here we are. This is the orb strategy. So does the orb work? Yeah, actually, you can see if you body size it, in other words, just doing what I've done, wrote the code, switch it on, leave it every day. It's kind of all right. It would have worked pretty well. In fact, you could just could I run it now? I think the breakout in the DAX has already happened, doesn't it? I won't run it now because you don't want to see bots working and me working earning money. So right, so that's the DAX on the 15. I'll run very quickly through this. We'll go in the room, guys. We'll do this in a lot more detail on Friday, and we'll have a proper strategy. So again, anyone, if you let me know in the comments. I don't know whether the chat saves. So when we've finished this live stream, if you want the orb and the IB strategy, then write it in the comments after we've finished which one you want, and I will send it to you, so long as I understand who you are. So when I obviously know Mickey and know Greg, in the wilds, I haven't got a clue who to send that to. So and GG. All right, okay, great. But if you put your names in there, and well, you don't. I tell you what, either put it in the comments that you like it, then send me an email to stephen.paxton@harkoltd.com or the support. All my details are on the links below, and I will send you the strategies for that. And then what we'll do it in my room anyway on Friday. Maybe next Tuesday, what we'll do is pick on one of the strategies. Oh, we'll pick on two of this. We can pick on two, and we'll actually take you through them and show you how to actually work them. So rather than waffle, this is the DAX. So it's you can use the DAX. So we'd use the 15-minute orb, and you'll see how different it flies. 30 minutes. We're now doing the recalc. So there's the 30 minutes. 45%. So yeah, using the structures for 30 minutes, 15 minutes, 30-minute breakouts, and then 1 hour. It just shows you how the market works. So the orb acts like the initial balance at the 1 hour. So the orb 1 hour is initial balance, and by a long way. You can see there, just by running this robot for 6-7 months, you would have made a killing out of it. Well, that's just one contract, of course, so, or £1 a pip, and you would probably have made more money than that. But this is just for illustration purposes, okay? This is a real bot doing real trades back. It's not a back tester. It's running a strategy. So into 5 minutes, I would not recommend 5 minutes for anybody on the DAX. It's too volatile, and your stops have to be pretty tight. So you can see here, didn't do any trades whatsoever because the volume, the swept volume, the ATR range was too small, and the markets just did not click out. So when I'm saying the markets are too small, what I mean is the market's not small enough to actually do the range in the 5 minutes to be able to do that breakout, but hard to catch a trade. But nevertheless, 15% for doing nothing is not too bad at all. So we've done 5 minutes, 15 minutes, 30 minutes. So this ranges from the worst position at 15% to 160%. So that's the DAX on the orb. We'll very quickly, I won't do them all. What can I do? Let's do commodity. It was made for commodities, this. So let's do crude. So let's do crude. Have I got crude up here? Crude. Oh, all right, I'll put crude up. I've not even opened crude up today. We'll do crude. It's going to run it automatically. It's got the bot there. So there's the crude at 32%. Now into the 15-minute orb. Running 37%. And we'll run gold as well. And then because we're running out of time now. Right, so you can see here for gold, 15 minutes is not very good at all. It still makes money, still, so 30 minutes and then 1 hour. 30 minutes, so it's all in the green. And then 1 hour, which is very much like the initial balance, 7% in total. The thing with all these strategies that you use, if you believe in them, you've got to believe in the strategy before you use it. So if you believe in the strategy, do not cherry pick it. Play the statistics, because, if you traded in February, you would have lost, in March lost, and you would have given up. But then if you carry on, the strategy in time would work. I won't go through anything else on the orb, but we've proven that the orb is okay. It actually works. It is not new. It's not going to make you a billionaire. But like everything, you want to be able to prove it works. So if you write a robot with the baseline strategy, you can see it works. And I can see straight away on some of these things, I can improve this robot to work even better. So there's the orb. Right. The other one was initial balance, and this was really made for, let's put the DAX on, because we go back to the DAX. For, oops, where is it? DAX. Here we are. Right, so DAX, and we'll put the IB. These all have got about 70 odd bots here. So IB, initial balance. So again, coded this using initial balance. Rules. So let's have a little look on how this will trade. So kind of charts that are preferred on here are 15 minutes and 30 minutes. And I brought that in there anyway. And what we'll do is we'll start at 15. Actually, I tell you what, we'll just try and break it. We'll put 5 minutes on. And this is taking the first hour with all these different parameters. So I'll just further. So with 5 minutes using the bot, we can put a bit more sophisticated risk management on that, which will increase the return. But again, you're getting no trades in January, February, or March, but 43% is not bad. 15 minutes, 109%. This is using initial balance. Actually, I should do a video, shouldn't I, of Allbirds' initial balance on YouTube and see what responses we get. Is anyone interested in seeing that? So what in the wire, personally, I'm more interested in the 926. Great. How are the bots going so far this month? Going really well. Sounds like you're interested in. Thing is, though, guys, if you want to trade or use these bots, they're all built for pro real time. So if you're not in Northern Europe or the UK, or Australasia, you cannot get IG PRT. So if you are and still using the Luddite software like TradingView or MTs, then you need to see the light and just get PRT. It's a lot better. So personally, I'm more interested in the 926 strat you mentioned. Any details on that? Yeah, join my trading group. That's what I train. That's what it's all about in a private training group. We teach people how to be traders, how to be professional retail traders to earn a living, and how to be very consistent. That's what it's all about. All I do on Tuesdays, open the window open into some of the stuff that we do. So that's 15 minutes, and let's put half an hour on. 141% return, and the hour on 107. So on the DAX, throughout its range, the low is like 1, the high is 165. Using initial balance, it goes to 140, but the low is much higher. So on balance, wrong word, is I would use initial balance over the orb because it's a bit more sophisticated in the way it looks at trades. It is pretty damn good. And what we can do is use some other indicators with this base strategy to actually trade the market. So I'm just going to we've got the DAX in, put American system on, the US 500 just to show you. So US 500, I've not changed the trading time frame. So that is using Northern European. So I need to change. We'll just use that. We're running out of time. So that would need to trade at course at 230 to initial 230 to 330 in there. Then the last range trade would be 2100 hours there, and then it would be okay. So obviously this is going to be trading futures markets only. So futures markets are going to be not very good. There we go, minus 1.3. Just for an argument's sake, let's stick the FTSE on this one. So FTSE on 15 minutes minus 7%. Use 5 minutes just for argument's sake. Just want to show you, we're not going to show you things that work all the time. I'm going to show you reality of trading. 30 minutes. 18% return, and on the 1 hour, there you can see the split, the difference of the markets there. So that hopefully that's a very quick skip into the strategy. of initial balance and opening range, the actual the targets that you should be going for both of those, and the time frames you need to be using. And these are the basic, bog basic strategies on for doing this trade. And then they've all been coded. The ORB and IB have been coded, and you can see the base strategies on the whole work reasonably okay. So turn our trades back on, turn our cash pivots, they're back. Oh, let's put the FTSE back on properly. FTSE. So that's our trade, of course, that we've done with the FTSE on that breakout here, which was a 15-minute bar break, and that's getting on its way and hopefully making some rupees. So that would be good. And we've run out of time. So I hope everyone found that useful, especially on the the trading plus the orb and the IB. Do not get tucked in with all these wonderful, it's fantastic. Yeah, you can tune the orb, and it's got very distinct assets, so it's really good at trading, and others are is not. Same with initial balance. There are some assets that lend itself to that type of trading, and yeah, it's let's have a look on here on the 1 minute. I'll just put the IB on show. So there is the kind of where there's there would be the trade, the IB trade would be at 91.44 for trading at stops into here. But we've got all these indicators all set up internally for what we actually do. But yeah, probably looking okay. Hopefully you've found that useful. And personally, in the wild, it's great you're interested in the 926, which is great. But really, probably three strategies, three techniques, because we use fractals to trade the initial balance. I'd break out that fractal would be initial balance trade that we would do, and the stop would be under that swing low. That's the way that we trade the initial balance there. That's what we would be doing. What I'm showing you is the core, the things that were developed by the people who developed them. Those are the strategies. So as far as trading is concerned, 15-minute bar, frackers from 1 minute through to 15 minute, learn how to do those. Those, you can earn a living out of those anyway. Then market function trades, market functions, initial balance, hitting the wall, breakout cam trades that we do, dividend trades that we do, end of month, end of quarter, non-farm payrolls, FTSE divvy, all market function trades. You need to understand those as well, and you can make a very good living once you understand them. So, any questions, guys, from anywhere? No? Okay, well, thank you for coming, and I waffled on far too much. So don't forget, in the comments after we finish the stream, put down whether you're interested in the orb strategy or the initial balance strategy, then that's fine. I'm going to clean up those robots, and for the people, here's something for you then. For the people who are want the orb and the initial band strategy, and that come on next Tuesday, I will give you access for a small fee if you want the robots to trade. Then I need to do some more testing to make them better. They are pretty good as the basic level because they do follow the base strategy. And do it. Do you think I should do a video on the orb versus IB? Probably won't be popular with the rest of the traders. Oh, everyone's gone to sleep. Never mind. Never mind. I have that effect on people. All right, guys. For the guys in the room, I'll see you all tomorrow. The divvy on the FTSE tomorrow is only 3 pips, so we won't be doing a divvy trade on the FTSE tomorrow. We'll just be getting up and getting on with it again out the trap in the morning. So for everyone else, see you guys, and thanks for coming. Cheers. Bye-bye.
Cheers, Dave. Bye. Bye.
Cheers, guys.